The community is continuing to rally around a Lexington gas station clerk who was shot during an attempted robbery this weekend.
People are trying to make a living stealing other people's information.
It's a device that can steal your financial information in seconds. A warning tonight about skimmers on gas pumps.
People living along a rural Montgomery County road are suing an old treatment company they say contaminated their properties with arsenic.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening to you. Customers say his absence is definitely being noticed. A Lexington gas station clerk is still in the hospital tonight, days after being shot during a robbery.
And while police are still trying to track down the men wanted for that crime, customers and co-workers are trying to help the clerk with his hospital bills. Hillary Thornton has our top story at 5:30.
This was the scene Saturday night. Many like Kara stayed seeing their neighborhood store turn to a crime scene.
I said, yeah, it was Chuck. It was sad.
Charles Moore, known by many as Chuck, shot multiple times during an attempted robbery. Moore, a well-known clerk at the Marathon station along Lansdowne Drive, an area he not only works in, but also is where he calls home.
He's the neighborhood man, you know, he's friendly to everybody.
The 49-year-old, a proud veteran who used his job here to make an impact.
My daughter goes with me sometimes. She's 2.5. He'll buy her some candy and she loves it. It's just a really great feeling to talk to him, and we miss him already.
The Marathon here is described by customers like State as one big family, with many of them stopping by several times each week. And thanks to the clerk, who is now recovering in the hospital, often getting much more than that tank of gas or other items they purchased.
Makes you feel good to go in there just to see him. He wants to talk to the actual person, not just a customer. You become like a friend to him.
Those friends and even strangers finding ways to help through fundraising sites, and now also through an event planned for Saturday at the Marathon, being made possible by one of their regular customers and distributors.
It's like something's missing because he's not there to joke with you. He's not there to talk to you. He listens to you too. If something's going on, he's concerned. He listens to you, and now we're concerned for him. So it means a lot that people are trying to help him and everything.
In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
The fundraiser at the Marathon station is set to begin at 10 o'clock Saturday. Organizers plan to have free hot dogs and drinks while collecting donations for that injured clerk.
A warning tonight from Richmond police officers. They say they found a skimmer on a gas pump. They didn't say which gas station, but they are asking people to check any pumps before they fill up their cars. New at 5:30, Lauren Miner shows us how you can avoid getting tricked by a skimmer.
Swiping a card at the pump is something most don't think twice about. But have you ever thought about where the information on that card is going? During a routine pump inspection in Richmond, the Kentucky Department of Agriculture discovered a credit card skimmer inside one of the pumps. The skimmer was removed and turned over to Richmond police.
I wouldn't say that it happens frequently. It happens more than we would like to see. People are trying to make a living stealing other people's information.
Discoveries of these skimmers have saved consumers thousands of dollars in fraudulent charges. The KDA is in charge of inspecting all gas pumps in the state of Kentucky.
We have found one this year so far. Of course, we're still doing our routine inspections. We'll be doing those for the next couple months.
The Kentucky Department of Agriculture say fuel pumps are an easy target because they are out of sight of the people working.
Consumers can just be vigilant. They can check if the pumps have security tape, make sure it doesn't say void or hasn't been tampered with. They can look for panels that look to have been pried open. Just things that may look funny, wires hanging out, and they can always report that to the store, to our office, or the police department.
So next time you fill up the tank, be sure to look before you swipe. Reporting in Frankfort, Lauren Miner, WKYT.
Security experts say losses from credit card skimming are expected to exceed $3 billion globally this year. The KDA says retailers are taking extra safety precautions to make sure this doesn't happen to consumers.
New information tonight about arsenic concerns in rural Montgomery County. And we've learned that residents are now suing a wood treatment company that used to be in that area. The contamination area is along Long Lane off of US 460. The EPA says the arsenic comes from wood treatment preservatives from an old Southern wood treatment company. It had closed in the mid-1990s. State leaders tested the soil of surrounding properties last month, and they say the arsenic levels require immediate cleanup. The treatment company has not commented on the lawsuit.
Police have arrested 2 people accused of stabbing a 71-year-old veteran to death earlier this month. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Hardin County. 23-year-old Aaron Pearson and a 16-year-old girl are charged with murder and burglary. Police in Radcliffe say the 2 of them lived in the same apartment complex as the victim, Norman Hall. They say the 2 of them killed Hall in his apartment, but police do not know why yet. They say some items were missing from Hall's apartment. People who live at the apartment complex say the 2 suspects were dating. And in LaRue County, a high school basketball coach has resigned after being indicted on sex abuse charges. The LaRue County School Superintendent says they received information accusing Kelton Ford of inappropriately touching a female student athlete. Ford was the girls' basketball coach. State police say the school notified them about the case on September 7th.
Summertime just won't go away. Looks more like the start of fall is going to be delayed. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a look at weather that's really like maybe July or even August, really.
Yeah, it is. It's more like August out there. I don't want to call it the dog days of summer, but it kind of feels the part, minus all the humidity that you get in July and August around here. So it's a dry heat, huh? We look outside, 9 live sky cams every stop that we look at with beautiful blue skies over top of central and eastern Kentucky. Nothing going on. Little high cloud cover from time to time, but those thermometers, a lot of mid and upper 80s showing up across the entire area. Here is your Defender Radar Network, and we are dealing with nothing across central and eastern Kentucky and across the entire Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley. We are stuck in a weather no man's land, if you will, with this high pressure anchored across the region. Area of low pressure, what is our tropical system that was Julia a few days ago, downgraded to a depression. I'll tell you, it's close to being a storm again right on top of the coastline. Cold front to our north, never going to get on in to central and eastern Kentucky. And if you're out this evening with that dry air in place, toasty temperatures pre-sunset, though it's going to feel awfully nice as the sun starts to go down. We're into the upper 60s to a low 70s by around 11 o'clock. Hour by hour forecast is dry, but I do have changes showing up in the 7-day outlook, guys. We'll share those with you just ahead.
All right, Chris, we'll see you then. Thank you. The state of Kentucky is issuing an emergency order waiving the hours of service for commercial motor vehicle drivers delivering petroleum. The order is in response to the gasoline pipeline leak in Alabama. It will relieve truck drivers from restrictions on hours of service while they are driving through Kentucky. But the drivers must have a copy of the order in their truck cab if they're driving beyond their normal hours of service. The order will expire on October 5th at midnight. Cosmetics maker L'Oreal says it's building thousands of solar panels into its manufacturing facilities in Arkansas and Kentucky. The company says the move will help cut carbon emissions while creating 2 of the biggest solar-powered projects in both states. The subsidiary of the L'Oreal Group says it will install 5,000 solar panels at its Kentucky plant in Florence. Work is expected to begin later this year.
115,000 people here in Fayette County pay a monthly LexServe bill to cover the fees for sanitary sewer, landfill, and water quality. And most of the people mail their payment to a post office box in Cincinnati. Philip has our good question tonight. He says, I am paying my bill for LexServe City Services, making my check payable to Lexington Fayette Urban County government. My question is, why am I sending my check to an address in Cincinnati, Ohio? It's a good question, Philip. For an answer, I contacted Mayor Jim Gray's office. His spokeswoman, Susan Straub, says, we agree with your viewer. She says, that's why we kicked off a project last fall to bring all LexServe billing services in-house. This system, she says, is scheduled to go online in the early spring of next year. We're also looking for ways to make it more convenient for people who want to come downtown to pay their bill. Our goal, she says, is friendly customer service. So watch for this change next year. Right now, 88,000 either mail their payment to LexServe or drop it off in person. To submit a good question, send an email to goodquestion@WKYT.com.
Still to come on WKYT News at 5:30, the annual Race for the Cure is coming up, but it's not too late to sign up. We'll have those details after the break.
I'm Bill Bryant. A group founded by the Koch brothers gets involved in Kentucky's heated House races. And will a former president vote for the nominee of the opposing party in November? The bottom line is ahead.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
A new report is out today saying a former Republican president will vote for Hillary Clinton.
And the weekend bombings in New York and New Jersey have both presidential candidates debating already. Bill Bryant explains in The Bottom Line.
Good evening. A conservative political group connected to businessmen and brothers David and Charles Koch is involving itself in the battle for control of the Kentucky legislature. Americans for Prosperity sent out mailers tying Democratic State Representative Rita Smart of Richmond to the expansion of the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare. AFP is taking a strong stance against Obamacare and in the past has opposed a raise in the minimum wage and has advocated for right-to-work laws. Democrats narrowly control the Kentucky House. The GOP is making a big push to win a majority of House seats in November, where Democrats have been in charge since 1921. Reports circulated today that former Republican President George H.W. Bush will vote for Democrat Hillary Clinton in November. The story surfaced in Politico after a niece of JFK, Kathleen Kennedy Townsend, posted on her Facebook page that the 92-year-old Bush said he will vote for Hillary. A spokesperson for Bush, the 41st president who lost his re-election bid to Bill Clinton, would neither confirm nor deny the report. Since his son, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, dropped out of the primaries, Barbara and George Bush have been mostly quiet about the election. The bombings in New York and New Jersey over the weekend have been fodder on the presidential campaign trail. Donald Trump says local police are often afraid of being accused of profiling if they move to disrupt plots based on information they develop. And Hillary Clinton said she opposes going after an entire religion, which is what she says ISIS wants. She proposes stepping up intelligence efforts. Clinton and Trump are set to debate next Monday night. From Frankfurt, the Executive Branch Ethics Commission has issued $7,000 in fines to 3 former state workers for violating ethics laws. The commission fined a former corrections officer and a former probation officer $1,500 each for having inappropriate relationships with offenders. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
The annual Race for the Cure in Lexington is right around the corner.
And it's a big year for the Susan G. Komen Lexington office. This year is the 20th year for the race. Kicks off at 7 a.m. on October 1st with a survivor breakfast. And the race starts at 9. There's still time to sign up. Organizers are starting to get the packets together this week. The Race for the Cure is the biggest fundraiser for the group.
This money gets spent by 75% of all the revenue that is developed in Lexington is going to stay in the Lexington area, granted out to local hospitals for mammograms and other needs for survivors and cancer patients, and then 25% of all the revenue goes to breast cancer research.
We try to make it easy for you. You can register online at WKYT.com. Look for the race logo. You can also register and pick up packets at the old Hancock store on Southland Drive in Lexington.
Last night, a community came together to dance the night away for a really good cause. Last week, we told you about the United for Stephanie Dance-a-thon, sponsored by the United Talent Dance Studio in Georgetown. The event was held to raise money for Stephanie Welch, who is battling cancer for the 2nd time. Last night, the community came together to raise nearly $4,500 to help her daughters continue to dance while she fights cancer again.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Another toasty thermometer out there across the Bluegrass State today. Those temperatures hitting the mid and upper 80s in a lot of areas, but at least we got the nice weather. It's sunny. Blue September sky over top of the region, Appalachian Mountains of southeastern Kentucky. Good old Breathitt County showing up there in the view. And before too long, you'll start to see some change in the leaves and just a hint of some changes showing up in our WKYT weather garden, where we have the blue skies as well. Temperatures across eastern and southern Kentucky are generally low and mid 80s. You get into these ridiculous airport thermometers, and they're into the upper 80s right now. Defender Radar Network showing nothing going on across central and eastern Kentucky. Weather-wise, it's pretty good, even if it is on the toasty side. High pressure on top of the region. We've got an area of low pressure on top of the Carolinas, kind of clogging up the system a little bit. Next 7 days worth of rain. Yeah, not a whole lot of chances showing up over the next week and change. There's a small little threat on Saturday, not even really worth putting in the forecast. I couldn't even bring myself to take it to the chance category. But we go into Monday, and maybe Tuesday, there's at least a chance for a scattered thunderstorm or two. How do we look over the next 3 days? Patchy fog tomorrow morning, warm afternoon. Thursday, patchy fog in the morning, a warm afternoon, downright toasty with 85 to 90 for those highs. Wednesday, Thursday, and into the day on Friday. And that will carry us into the start of our weekend before a cold front to the north of us will slowly begin to work its way out into town. That's 5 o'clock on Saturday. That high pressure bringing the heat with it across most of the southeastern part of the country. But look at this little backdoor front that slides in from the northeast to the southwest as we go into Sunday. Now, that may only knock the temperatures down by a few degrees. And coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, I'm going to show you why the second front that is out across the Plain States has a much better shot of bringing us some better weather into next week. I can't guarantee that it's going to, but it has at least a much better shot compared to what we are seeing this week. 85 to 90 right on through Friday and maybe into Saturday too. It's mainly dry during that forecast period. Upper 70s, low 80s on Sunday. It should feel a little better on Sunday and Monday before that next front arrives. We'll talk more about that at 6 o'clock.
Is that the last we see of a 90 on your forecast for a while?
I hope so. I mean, you know, around here, we've had record highs of 90 into October. No. If there's going to be a year where that's possible, that may be this year. Because this is a pattern that with a dry ground can kind of repeat.
It's not what we want to
Not
hear.
what we want, yeah. I doubt it.
Okay.
All right, how about that?
Thank you.
There you go.
Thanks.
Officer Don does not like the forecast he hung up hearing
Yeah,
that.
I know. Where are you, Officer Don?
We'll call him back.
Yeah, we will.
For the Colonels, there is no game this weekend, Rob.
EKU coming off a bad loss at Ball State is Coach Mark Elder happy to get a break this weekend. And everybody's been wondering when Kentucky may get the tight end more involved in the passing game. Well, it happened for C.J. Conrad last weekend. That's next in sports. One of the most promising young players on the Kentucky football team is tight end C.J. Conrad. He started 9 games last season as a freshman, and at the beginning of this season, he's become a bigger part of the Cats' offense. No Kentucky player had 3 touchdown catches in a game in almost 9 years. Dickie Lyons did it in 2007. The last tight end to do it was James Whalen about 17 years ago in 1999.
I did not know that. Yeah, that's shoot. That is a long time, but that's exciting. You know, I think it's nice to see the hard work paying off for myself.
Conrad's big day included this 72-yard play in the first quarter. He broke free and was able to make it all the way to the end zone.
I thought I was going to get caught for sure. Yeah, I'm a big dude like this. Like, guys are faster than me. I'm like, all right, I'm running. I'm like, I'm at the 30. Probably going to get tackled around the 25. And I got to like 15. I'm like, oh gosh, I may score. And then I was extremely tired after that. I was probably the most tired I've been since I've been here. Run 70 yards in high school, but that was about 50 pounds ago. So.
Since he arrived at Kentucky, there has been plenty of talk about involving the tight end more in the passing game. Until Game 3 of this season, there was little sign of it.
I mean, I understand everyone's frustration with the tight end not being involved as much in the first 2 games, but we didn't run a whole lot of plays in the offense, and I was telling everyone who asked me, I mean, we don't run a whole lot of, you run 50 plays a game, and you're going 3 and out a lot. I mean, the tight end's just not going to be involved a whole lot, and that's just how it goes. This game, we were getting first downs, we're getting in the red zone, and that's why I played in Greg so much tonight.
C.J. referring there to tight end Greg Hart, who also had a good game. The Cats have South Carolina this weekend, 7:30 kick Saturday night on the SEC Network. Coming off a disappointing loss at Ball State, the EKU Colonels have a welcome bye week this Saturday. Mark Elder's squad done in by turnovers and penalties against the Cardinals. The Colonels drew 13 flags Saturday, including several costly personal fouls, and they turned it over 4 times. Elder says there's a price to pay this week.
Last week we talked a lot about improving our penalty situation. This week we we worked for every single penalty yard that we gave up. There was a punishment for it, and the guys had to sweat and had to deal with that, and hopefully that'll be a little bit better reminder of making stupid mistakes the next time that opportunity arises.
In the next half hour, a decision on Lafayette and Scott County. Stay with us. We're right back after the break.